till I'm with you again. Hello. Let's see.
I hear it.
Oh, good. Okay, you can hear us then.
Mm-hmm.
And we can hear you, and that's a good thing.
Wonderful.
We have, and those of you at home on your computer speakers, you're going to hear a high-pitched whine. That we're working on that. I know it's there, and we can sort of hear it in here, but it's not a big deal. Sally, it's not interfering with you, is it?
Not at all.
Okay, good. Well, and I said, Sally, I don't want to bury the lead there. We're talking to Sally Fingerett of the Bitchin Babes. Now, the Bitchin Babes are doing their Diva Nation show, and at James Lumber Center on May 7th, Saturday, and that's a day before Mother's Day, and kind of appropriate, really, when you find out a little bit more from Sally what Diva Nation is and why it's there, and why the Bitchin Babes do what they do, and have done for several years now, and with different mixes of people. But the current Diva Nation Bitchin Babes are as we will find out from Sally, just because I'm looking at 5 other things right now. And they're going to again be Saturday, May 7th. They're doing 2 shows at the James Lumber Center here at the College of Lake County, a 3 p.m. show and a 7 p.m. show, sort of back to back. And hopefully there'll be enough time there backstage for you guys to take a little break, have a little nosh, some chocolate or something like that. And then
probably just to wipe the sweat off our brow and put the makeup back on. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
And that was a couple of things I was going to ask you too. Was some kind of like behind the scenes stuff, bare bones things, based on I don't know if you're familiar with the festival out in California called Coachella.
Yes, I have a little bit.
Oh, okay. And they just had this over this past weekend, and they streamed it live, the whole thing on YouTube Live, and that's a thing that we're actually an alpha/beta partner with at CLC Radio. We kind of lucked out.
Very cool.
They
That's
sent
very
us
cool.
an email and said, "Do you guys want to try this?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's try it." And they don't care if you're audio only or audio video, which is also a new thing YouTube is rolling out. It's been an issue. But speaking of things, internet like that, Sally Fingerett, would you go ahead first to explain your current lineup and how long this current lineup has been together, and how it almost seems like the Bitchin Babes is a franchise somewhat.
It is a franchise. I mean, it's a brand, it appears. The group started in 1990 with Christine Lavin, who's a singer-songwriter from New York. I think a lot of your listeners might have heard of her. And what she did 21 years ago, she had a little, she put together a compilation CD of other folk singer-songwriters, friends of hers, and she decided to take a group out of a couple pals. And back then in 1990, it was me, Megan McDonough, who's from Chicago,
Yep.
Patty Larkin, who's from Boston, and then Christine Lavin. And our first CD was called Buy Me, Bring Me, Take Me, Don't Mess with My Hair, Life According to Bitchin Babes.
Ah.
Well, fast forward 21 years, and we have 8 CDs out. And, the various different members who toured with us, for instance, Meg left in 2000, Christine Lavin left in 1997, and replaced by, Julie Gold from New York, who wrote the song From a Distance, and Suzy Roach, who was in the Roaches.
Oh, yes.
One of the Roach sisters.
Sure.
She was in the Babes for a couple of years. She's on our 6th recording.
Mm-hmm.
So this new group, the group that is coming to Grace Lake, is myself and Debbie Smith. Debbie Smith joined in 1994. And then our 2 newest members, Deirdre Flint, a stand-up novelty songwriter, comedian from Philadelphia, and Nancy Moran, who is a studio singer in Nashville and great songwriter. They joined in 2005, so it's been 6 years, and we've since released 2 recordings with the 4 of us as we are today. And I have to say that, we tour a great deal, and we get along so well. In the van, on stage, late at night in the hotel room with, a bottle of Jack Daniels and a Sally coffee cake. So, it's, we've been very, very lucky
Doesn't
to
sound much
enjoy
different than my road
both
life,
the
really.
camaraderie and the music.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound much different than my road life as a musician.
No, it's pretty much road life is road
cake,
life.
Yeah, the cake,
I don't care who you are.
Maybe not the Jack Daniels, but the cake certainly was
Yeah, the
fun.
difference is the Jack Daniels, the Chardonnay, and the Sally coffee cake.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Tom Ropel is here with me. He just finished up his show, the minority.
No, it's the vocal
The
minority.
vocal minority.
It's okay.
But that's okay.
You're just the director. I don't.
And in general, Tom will probably have a question or two.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing dandy.
Hey, Tom
Dandy.
might
Excellent.
even actually come see one of the shows too.
I might.
That'd be great.
I might do it. Because this, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I heard the title of your group, the Four Bitchin' Babes, I kind of thought like rockabilly, and then when I saw the actual CD jacket, if you guys were playing rockabilly music, I'd be very confused.
Yeah, it's well, the Four Bitchin' Babes is, that's just sort of an anomaly of what we've been doing over these past 21 years. Is the first couple CDs were, the Buy Me, Bring Me, Take Me, Don't Mess My Hair, Life According to Four Bitchin' Babes. Then it was Fax It, Charge It, Don't Ask Me What's for Dinner, Life According to Four Bitchin' Babes. I mean, can you remember fax machines? Oh my God. Anyway, and then we were Hormonal Imbalance, A Mood Swing and Musical Review, and then it's Diva Nation, or Music, Laughter, and Girlfriend's Reign. But the Bitchin' Babe part, that's from George Lucas's film American Graffiti.
Oh.
Okay.
And that dweeby guy is driving his dad's car on a Saturday night looking for a girl.
Right.
And he sees Candy Clark, who plays that Sandra Dee character.
Yep.
And he longingly looks out the window and he says, "Oh, what a babe. What a bitchin' babe."
Right.
Well, that's us.
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah, that's us. And it's very campy. I mean,
I like it.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's a show for, it's a girls' night out fun show, but it's a very man-friendly, men-loving kind of event where
Okay.
there's no heavy politics, we
it's
don't
not the
man
vagina
bash.
monologues.
It's just about contemporary life through the eyes of working women.
Okay.
Because of the compressor. So, well, Tom, go ahead and say.
So it's not the vagina monologues. I'm not gonna feel all scared
Absolutely
when I'm
not.
leaving.
No.
Like I should watch out as I'm walking.
No. Absolutely not. No.
Well, Tom has had definitely a different experience from that play. I took away a whole different.
And I was in Ohio, I was the guest with the National Touring Company for a bunch of shows here in the Midwest.
Oh, wow.
So I know the show really well, and it is not what we do. No.
No, it's
Okay.
not. And then
Yeah.
Tom hasn't heard your CD yet, and I have.
No,
and,
yeah.
It's not. It's kind of cool. As a matter of fact, Tom, if you could.
Yeah.
This is what I call. I like to sit. We'll just play track one.
Okay.
And not just because it's shorter. No, I'm kidding. It's what I like about it is it's what I call a built-in song, where they've built in a couple of things that are the typical announcement you might hear at the beginning of a show.
Well, actually, because we're a theatrical event, we're not a band, we're a theatrical show,
Right.
a musical review, and that is our opening song. So go for it.
Oh, this is you'll like this.
Okay.
You'll probably be able to hear it too, Sally.
Good.
You picked up the sitter and ignored her rolling eyes. When you laid the house rules on her, number one, of course. No guys. Last time she came over, she found your secret stash. And your fix of Girl Scout cookies were just boxes in the trash. Then you squeezed into a dress that been fine 2 years ago. And you wonder if it's worth the hassle just to see a show. We're so glad you're here, 'cause you are in Babes Land, and we are the Babes Band. There's hundreds of babes here and 7 men. We hope we're the best you've ever heard. We pray that we don't forget the words Leave your troubles in the lobby. Hey, you're in Babes Land now. In case you haven't noticed, we are clearly middle-aged. Means we will not prance like hoochie mamas here upon the stage. And since we've been in your shoes, you do not need to fear. We won't start the second half until the ladies' room is clear. So please turn off your cell phones, we'd appreciate it much. Unless you prefer the vibrate mode, we're not here to judge. We're damn glad you're here, 'cause you are in Babes Land, and we are the Babes Band. There's hundreds of babes here and 7 men. Fill the rafters with laughter, joy, and hope, and I pray we don't hit a sour note. Leave your troubles in the lobby. Hey, you're in Babes Land now. Well, you've reapplied your lipstick and you've settled in your seat. We hope you read the program and you've had a bite to eat. Or maybe you and your gang have big plans after the show to hit a place with good martinis where the wild women go. We may see you at one of those after-hour spots. We'll be the table in the corner doing chocolate cake and shots. Ain't middle age a blast, 'cause you are in Babes Land, and we are the Babes Band. There's hundreds of babes here and married men. Terrific. We hope that you like the way we sound. Remember these lights at 10 pounds. Leave your troubles in the lobby. Hey, you're in Babes Land now. Leave your troubles in the lobby. Hey, you're in Babes Land now.
I feel like I'm in Babes Land now.
You guys are probably going to be my new guilty pleasure.
Oh, we're a lot of fun.
My
I have to say.
little hidden song on my iPod.
There's another version of it, the fun version.
I don't even know how that could be more fun.
I know. It's 8 seconds more fun according to this.
Oh, jeez.
But no, really, because I did not hear the last 3 songs on this. No, I did hear Viva La Diva, but on the website.
That's hysterical.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful. Debbie does an amazing job live. You got to hear it live. It's just amazing.
Now, speaking of live, I'm hearing drums. How do you guys handle that live? I'm only going by the picture. It doesn't show you one of you playing a drum set. So
No, what we are, as a musical review, it's the 4 women on stage. We have 4 different sort of images, and because we're composers, we write about who we are and what we do and what we are. For instance, Deirdre, who you heard say when it says all the men in the audience are married, and she goes, terrific. That's her. She's our early 40s, single, sophisticate, urban girl. She lives in Philadelphia, right in the center city. And she does amazing comedy. And then there's Nancy, who lives in Nashville, and she is a double income, no kids, and she works a lot in marketing with songwriters, and she's very country. And then there's Debbie, who does the opera comedy piece, but she does a lot of cabaret and beautiful country and ballads and opera. And she's been married to the same guy for 25 years. They have a special needs son who's 21 and lives at home. And then there's me. I'm on my 2nd marriage and blended 3 teenagers, and and I'm very funky, bluesy. So you have different genres of music. You have women with different lives, but the commonality is that we're just women.
Yeah.
And we write about our lives through our own crazy, wacky viewfinder. And what happens on stage is that each gal takes a turn being front and center, and the other three will play behind her, and we all are instrumentalists, and we harmonize. But Debbie also plays a baron, which is an Irish drum, a hand drum.
Sure.
And then we have shakers, and so there's percussion on stage, there's bass, guitar, piano. So it's not, you don't hear rock drums, but it's a full sound. And mainly, I'll tell you, mainly it's a vocal band.
So you're getting, so at least on live on stage, any drum sound is coming from the baron then?
Yeah, right.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. No, a recording is one science, live performance is another science.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also because it's a theater, it's more about the lyrics and the stories in between the songs.
And so there's actually, there's some dialogue, monologue things happening between songs as well?
Oh, yeah, big shtick.
Nice.
Lots of shtick and funny stuff. It's very I think maybe 90% of the show is comedy, 10% will pull out a beautiful ballad, but there's usually something funny before it. So it's, I would say it's like a musical version of The View, where it's issues of the day, but really very lighthearted. I mean, I'll tell you, life is tough. Life's crazy out there, and if someone's going to buy a ticket to go to the theater, we feel it's our responsibility to just take them out of their skin and put them someplace fun and wonderful. And that's what Diva Nation's about. It's just going to where, chocolate's in the food group and shopping for shoes is medicinal. So
that's right. Chocolate is the 7th food group.
It is. It's the 8th and the 9th and the 10th food group as far as I'm concerned. So
so what in talking about writing songs about your lives separately and together on the road, I would imagine as well. What is, well, maybe not yet.
Yeah, no, we're busy shopping. Go to the mall.
What is on the road like for you guys? Like truly on the road. You'd mentioned bus travel. How do you deal with that? Because if I would imagine that at some points you kind of all have to fly in and meet at certain places.
Yeah, that's exactly what we do. We fly in to, let's just say we were out of California. So we have Debbie's in Washington, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, Nancy's in Nashville, Deirdre's in Philly.
Okay.
We all fly to LA.
Right.
We rent the van. We drive, we just did this. We drive to Arroyo Grande, play the Performing Arts Center there. Wake up, drive to Redding, California, or Chico, California, do a show there. Wake up, drive to Redding, California, do a show there. Wake up and drive to Klamath Falls, Oregon, do a show there. Wake up and then drive to maybe Portland, just up the coast.
Yeah.
And we'll do that. We'll fly into an area and do 4 or 5 shows, and then, drop the van in Seattle and fly home. And on the way, we laugh, we have fun, take turns driving, we eat out, sleep in. Oh my gosh, it's a woman's dream. It is. We get to do for our work what some women will do once a year with their sorority sisters, as a reunion.
So how often do you take those sprints out a year?
It seems to be more often. We've been really very blessed to be busy.
Yeah.
And they're not all as beautiful as the West Coast, I might tell you. We did, wait, where's our postcard? Let me see if I have this one tour we just did. Oh my God, it rocked. It was insane. I don't have my readers on, I can't see this. Hang on. Whoops. We flew, where did we fly into? When was this? We played, we did 4 shows in 3 days in Norfolk, Connecticut, New London, Connecticut, and then we had to do a matinee and an evening show in Philly. Then we were in Shelby, North Carolina, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Then we did Michigan. We were in 3 cities in Michigan. Let's see. Oh, this was a drill and a half. We flew to Chicago, rented a car, drove to Waterloo, Iowa, did a show, woke up, drove 5 hours to Jasper, Indiana, did a show, drove 5 hours and played somewhere in Kentucky, I couldn't tell you where, did a show. I mean, it's like that,
Okay.
We just hit wherever they hire us, and we'll do 3 or 4 cities in a weekend with travel in between, and
So are you guys like a lot of bands these days, and pick your genre, pick your age group, pick whatever. and a lot of bands are doing for themselves. But do you guys use an agency or a management company to help booking, or do you?
Oh yeah, no, we have a wonderful booking agent, and they're called SRO. They also book Janice Ian and Carla Bonoff and Leon Redbone, and so we end up in some beautiful places. They do all the work. They say go here, and we go okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, just tell us what time to show up.
I think for bands like yours, where you're flying into to pocketed areas, that you almost have to do it that way.
Oh yeah, no.
Unless you're going to go
I'll tell you,
cross-country.
overhead is not cheap anymore. Between airfares for 4 women from 4 different cities trying to land them at the same time.
Yeah.
I do a lot of the interior travel arrangements just because I know what everyone likes.
Right.
What seat they like or whatever. So it's easy, and then I can get a hold of everybody quickly. But as far as I don't handle the negotiations and stuff, it's hard for artists to do that. I know that must be difficult, and thank God we don't have to do that.
Oh, yeah. And you were saying that your show, the musical review, is a lot of comedy and shtick. I've noticed. Do you play a lot of colleges, or is it performing centers and some colleges? How does that work?
Well, usually it's performing arts centers. But then again, some of the bigger colleges have performing arts centers.
Yeah.
And so there's also some community support where the college needs to provide culture for the communities that the college is in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's underwritten by maybe the university, sometimes not. But
right.
Yeah, we play both.
Yeah, and the reason I asked that is because comedy over, let's say, the last 10 or 12 years, hearing interviews and reading some things from Larry Miller, Dennis Miller, a couple of where you take Dennis Miller can be sarcastic and he's not politically correct. Bill Maher as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Larry Miller isn't, but Larry Miller does it with this often facade. He's often
so
able to do the liberal thing, but with a conservative face. And Dennis Miller, both Dennis and Larry, have said about 5 years ago they couldn't play a college to save their lives because they have become so conservative. But now, and over the last year and a half, they've both come out and saying that they haven't had a problem at colleges now, because now the undergrads and even the graduate students are more liberal, and they're able to take the jibs and jabs equally as well from the conservative side. Would you say that has ever come across as...
Yeah, I would.
You guys?
It's interesting because the group, the Four Bitchin' Babes, we are no way political. We're just not.
Right.
And we're not blue either.
Right.
Because we just aren't. But I have to say, with a name like the Four Bitchin' Babes, we really have a hard time getting jobs south of the Mason-Dixon line.
Yeah, I was even wondering, myself and Luann Satsker, we were just kind of joking around a little bit about that, saying, is that a problem for you booking them?
It is. We've actually it's been 21 years of being the Four Bitchin' Babes, and what happened was in 2006, when we came up with our first show, it's called Hormonal Imbalance, a mood swing and musical review. What that did, it offered these theaters an opportunity to book us without using the Four Bitchin' Babes.
Interesting.
And then we'd get there, and the presenter would not have been able to take ads using our name, whatever.
Right.
And so we'd get on stage and say, hey, we're the Four Bitchin' Babes. And nobody got up and left.
Right.
But no small children were wounded. And all of a sudden, they would book us back. That same place that couldn't use Bitchin' would book us back, and Four Bitchin' Babes are coming to town, and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And everyone's fine. But I also think that in this new decade, with what's going out on television, oh my God, we're harmless. And I'm sure there's nothing in these comedians politically. Everyone is completely desensitized.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If anyone sees an episode of Boston Legal,
one of my favorite shows.
You're right. It's you guys are harmless compared.
Yeah, we got nothing on David Kelly, that's for sure, without a doubt. But yeah, we do. There was a case once we played Atlanta where they booked us as the Four Bitchin' Babes, and they had us in one of those big red marquees, that scroll around the big civic center.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of complaints about the Bitchin' Babe title on this red LED scroll, and radio stations started having this debate, and it was huge press, and our promoter was like, "This is terrific," because I don't even have to buy any ad space. It's sold out because people are curious.
Oh yeah.
So you never know.
Now, it's also speaking. I'm looking over Tom's shoulder over here, and he's on Facebook, of course. Tom,
okay.
He's big on the Facebook. How are you guys doing getting your word out? Other than say traditional media, how are you guys utilizing technology in any way that you would say is somewhat unique, or something that you just fell into, or?
Well, we have recently joined that world. We do have a Facebook presence. We have a tremendous email list. Because we do a lot of internet sales for our CDs, and you got 8 recordings out. So our internet provider, our CD seller gives us names. So and we announce from the stage everywhere we go. People go to our email, our website, they sign on, blah, 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 blah. So yes, we do these email blasts with news, and we have Facebook. And the thing is, when I mail out, I'll actually still do snail mail, if you can believe it, these postcards with all our concert dates.
Right.
But what we'll have, let's see, what have I got here? About 25 concerts in this, 3-month period or whatever, and I'll send out to all the states that we're playing. And it's, I got about 5,000 names, which is nothing on a national level.
Right.
But what happens is, we'll be playing in Omaha, Nebraska, and a woman will come through at the end of the night. We autograph CDs, and she'll say, "My girlfriend's in Boston. She's been telling me about you for years. She got your postcard and saw that you were here in my area, and she made me come here to see you." And so, because the world has become only so big, a fan in Boston can send her best friend in Omaha to go see us. And every way we can advertise works, from Facebook to snail mail still.
Yeah.
So it's just great because, these, and they're cute little postcards, and people put them on their refrigerators, unless they're, of course, stainless steel. And, they can say, "Oh, I'm going to call my girlfriend here, I'm going to call my girlfriend there." And there's such a shortage, I think, for women our age for something fun to do. We're not a highly serviced market demographic.
Would you say that your show audience complement is always mostly women, or no?
No. Actually, because we have this folk history, we have a lot of men that love, the Christine Lavin, and I had a song that I wrote that was recorded by Peter, Paul, and Mary. So I have some, a lot of folk people that know the names, and actually, Deirdre Flint had a song on last season's episode of Nip Tuck that was on FX. So, we all have our own little ways of reaching out to different markets, but men come to the show because, and this is going to sound really odd, but it's true. It is a painless way for a guy to get points with his gal pal. Because he's going to a chick show,
right?
And yet he has a good time. Because it's really, if you like, if this guy ever listens to Bonnie Raitt or Joni Mitchell or Judy Collins, he's going to like us.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a win-win situation. But we do have a lot of guys who, buy tickets for their wife or girlfriend or mother as a gift because they know the women would have a good time. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, quote unquote, a girls' night out. It is not specific to like Menopause the musical.
Right, gotcha.
It's just a bunch of chicks, a bunch of broads on stage singing, and we make a lot of fun of ourselves. We just don't take a whole lot seriously.
I was struck by listening to the CD, and not all the songs, but there's a good couple, 3 songs where I was struck by. What came to mind was because I'm familiar with a lot of the songs of the Roaches.
Oh yeah.
And it's so much so that I was inspired by transcribing the Laundromat song. I'm a percussionist by trade and a drummer by choice, and
There you go.
And the as for my undergraduate recital at Northern Illinois University, plug, I transcribed the Laundromat song and had 3 ladies up front, one each on a xylophone and sharing a marimba. And I was back on drum set, had a bass player and a guitarist, and they played either chords or the melody as they sang the harmonies of the whole tune.
I'll have to tell Fuzzy.
They did a fantastic job of playing either, because depending on the phrasing, they could choose to do the melody while they were singing, or they could do the harmony, the harmony chords while rolling, depending on if it was xylophone or marimba. And the girl in the middle would go back and forth to the high end of the xylophone or the low end of the marimba. And she did a really great job. They were really good singers, and they also, when I played the songs for them, I turned them into Roaches fans instantly. They
it's hard not to.
They bought 3 CD, the 3 CDs they had at the time. They're just nuts about it. And that, well, like even the song Babes Land kind of reminded me a little bit of the harmonizations that the Roaches do.
Well, that's just, it's girl harmony. It's girl voicing.
Yeah.
And not to be gender specific, but it's just the way it goes. Suzy was a babe, I told you.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, Suzy.
Yeah, so she did leave a little bit of her influence behind.
I was wondering about that too. Just not so much the influence, but how do you guys go about working out your harmonies? If we may get musically geeky here, since it's a college radio station.
Yeah, I hope everybody doesn't glaze over at this point, but. I think, for any musician, guitar players, you look at Eric Clapton and you wonder, how the hell does he know where to put his fingers? And it's sort of like this language. It's a language all its own. And if you speak guitar, you speak guitar.
Sure.